Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus the Riven Realms. We've turned back time, we're right where we were when we decided to aid Lelithason last time, and that turned out very poorly for us. Note to self, don't aid an Eldritch being. They won't care, they won't help you. Basically the same thing. We went through everything that we went through last episode, with the exception of I did do like some extracurricular healing of one of our allies with the water mages, and then the fight with the crystal golems went way better. Sidarius took a bit of a beating, but everybody else came out pretty unscathed. So I think we're in a better place actually to try and stop her this time. So that's good. Alright, she's attacking her allies, or her colleagues, I should say, not allies, and we will try to stop her. You turn on Lelithason and step closer to attack. She dodges, swift as a snake, and her gaze finds yours. There's utter disregard in her eyes, and she stares at you as if you were a stranger. Don't let it interrupt the ritual. The yell comes from the middle of the formation of a spectral mages, from a tall man with long beard and piercing gaze. Help us, stranger! By now your companions have drawn their weapons, but Lelithason, if it is her at all, did not sit idly either. Gesticulating towards the sky, she hisses and growls. Moments later, strange orbs of crackling energy emerge from the confounding constellations to defend her. They look somewhat similar to the Custodia, but their essence seems to be corrupted somehow, so they display some shadowy colors as the maddening heavens above. While the dark orbs fall upon you and your companions, Lelithason starts tossing devastating spells at the circle of chanting spellweavers. The old mage who called out to you draws on his own magical powers and shields his colleagues as well as he is able to. You have to defeat the anomalous guardian orbs to get to Lelithason. Ooh, look at these dudes. What are you called? Anomaly. They did call them anomalous. High evasion. Jeez. They're resistant to like everything. Well, at least they're less resistant to fire and magic than they are to electricity. I feel like every time I compare an enemy's statistics, you can see how Sidarius definitely took a beating last episode, or leading up to this battle. Good shot. Let's try to knock out some of these guys on the front line. The evasion rears its ugly head. Perspective. Okay, 1 damage and debuffed. They do not like Gorgoro. Okay, Nadir seems to be pretty resistant to their charms. What are you being debuffed with, my man? I can't see until it's his turn. I guess Unholy Strike? Good God, please somebody hit them. Nadir, do you think the conflagration will even hurt them? Penetrate armor. They don't have any armor though. I think we try for the conflagration and see if it hurts them. Hopefully. If not, it's fine. Oh, thank you, Gorgoro. I meant to see what his debuff was. You know what? Keep attacking Nadir if you feel like it, because she's not getting hurt. Yeah. All your damage on my mage. Thank goodness for her. I assume it's her magic resistance. Please, someone hit them. Debuff the back row? Will they be debuffed? Doesn't look like it. They keep hiding the wounded ones. Oh, you guys. Help. Oh, they're firing out bolts of energy. Oh, it's devastation. I need to, like, spec out my allies in a way that tries to get around evasion. Because it's, that is like the #1 killer, I would say. I don't think her ward did anything. Jeez Louise. Thank you. I wonder if they have that ability that means their evasion doesn't go down. Yeah, I was gonna say, if any of my allies go down, I don't have enough resourcefulness to pick them up either. So we might be in trouble here. Thank you, 1 dead. The huge thing about killing any of them is it takes 2 actions out of the rotation. F you. Kill it. Yes, 2 down. All right, Sidarius. What does this do? Does this give you better accuracy? It does. All right, buff yourself, my man. We need the accuracy. Post haste. He wasn't going to kill any of the other guys anyway. Yeah, just keep shooting the corpse of Garrick. Poor guy. At least Nadir seems to be impervious, so at the very least, even if all of our allies are knocked out, she'll just like tank their attacks and then kill them slowly over time. Alright, we're gonna lose loyalty from, yep, there they go, Garrick and Krifta. That guy just exploded himself with null field. Didn't kill him, but thank you for not missing. Don't you do it. Oh, good judge. Oh, I hate you. The computational algorithm is chunking through the calculations here. Unfortunately, man, it's on the wrong side of the map. Oh, he killed one anyway, though. Good job, sir. Duck. Duck. Oh, he killed himself and probably blew up Eilani in the process. Oof. Yeah, Krifta and Garrick lost loyalty, understandable. Withstanding the devastating energies unleashed by the entity that was Lelothason, you and your companions vanquished the anomalous orbs. Barely. Realizing that you are now able to threaten it, the corrupted specter turns towards you with palpable malice that you have not seen before. As its face is twisted in unspeakable rage, it gesticulates wildly, spawning more guardian orbs from the phenomenon in the sky. The fight commences, and the leader of the spectral mages can return his attention to containing the maelstrom. The fight will decide your fate, and more likely the fate of many. Alright, 3 orbs in her. Dude, her new model looks sick as heck. 30 damage. Still really high evasion. Or 38 vitality, I should say. We should focus on the orbs. Oh, my other companions are here. Sick. Alright, get Harvick out there. Can I upgrade him before he fights? Sure can. I don't think it'll help. Oh, we can get him Chitinous Gross. That's the one I've been wanting forever. What else do we do, I guess? Survivor? All resistances? I feel like I looked at this before, but it's been a while, and I've forgotten everything. Frenzy is really good. After dealing damage, gaining initiative and more damage seems really, really strong. And then we have 11 proficiency left, which will stack with 33. So that means we'll end up with 44. Which is one shy of being able to get 2 of these. So I think we'll end up with 2, and we won't spend points on anything else for right now. I think that's fine to get Frenzy and Chitinous Gross. That's pretty good. So upgrade Harvick, and then it'd be better to have like a backliner than a Skornar. But Skornar doesn't really... Like, maybe he'd be better off than Sidarius, because Sidarius is so low and we can't pick him up anyway. Although Eilani's ready to drop too, so... Alright, rotate. Excuse me. Oh, he's already out there, duh. Throw Sidarius over here. And then I guess we bring Ren, because Garrick and Krifta are out, and we're not going to bring Eilani, who's at like death's door anyway. So I think this is the best chance we got. Have we fully upgraded Ren? I feel like we did do that, and then I've like not used him since. We definitely have. All right, good luck, everybody. All right, Ren goes first. Hey, 5 damage? Whoa! He's so much stronger than he used to be. Good shot. We hit the mage. I don't know what that does. There's a lot on the screen all at once. Ren, can I tell you not to dodge? All right, we'll just shift Nadir and Ren around. Good dodge, well done. Incoming. Child. Oh, you summoned more? You summoned yourself. What the heck? All right, Skornar, I need you to boost one of your allies. Maybe Sidarius, because he's got pretty good abilities. You need to be swapping with Gorgoro. Hit this orb? All right, hold on. What's happening? This guy. There we go. 7 damage. Fantastic. Now you swap back. And then hit this guy. Whoa! It worked like a charm. Ow. All right, boost yourself, Sidarius. Please don't die in the process. Incoming. She summoned another version of herself. Holy crap. How much health do you have? Good dodge. Anomaly. I want to go. Yeah. Everybody attack Nadir. She's like invulnerable to you anyway. All right, 13 HP. I think we still got to get rid of the anomalies first. So we go on that guy and then go on the... Oh, geez, they're weak as heck. All right, try to kill the anomaly, Ren. You did really good against him last time. All right, he dodged one attack. That's okay, though. Nice. Well done. Anomaly gone. Now, I think you should try to cleave and kill the anomaly at the same time. It worked perfectly. Harvick, swap with Gorgoro and hit the other person. What I'm banking on is if the sides are open, she will summon more people. I don't know if that's true. Ah! They actually hit Nadir and she's stunned. How dare you? Game's thinking about it. Oh, never mind. She blasted the crap out of me. All right, take out her buddy. Go here. Blam. Yes, buddy gone. All right, and she gets to go again. Don't hit Sidarius. Don't do it. I wonder what's going on in the game that this happens with certain characters where they just like slowly chunk up. Oh, excuse me. It's a little rude that she can summon a spawn and the spawn immediately gets to go. A little ridiculous, if you ask me. Nice crit. Didn't kill her, but did a good job. No, we don't want to switch with Sidarius because he can't move on his own. Good finish off. I wish I could have used the crit on her, but what are you gonna do? You're gonna summon another friend? She did. Don't summon her. I was like, don't summon her right in front of you because I can't hit you. Definitely boost your ally, which would be maybe Gorgoro. How come she has so many initiatives? Explain yourself. All right, she healed herself, I think. Ah, balls. Gorgoro doesn't have any power left. All right, let him regenerate. Owie. Oh, Harvick's down. That sucks. He was doing actually a decent amount of damage. We can't switch with him. No. F. Bam. All right, we got rid of the ally. Ren, go to town. 7 damage. Fantastic. +4. 11 damage is great. She's gonna summon another person right in front of her, which sucks. Just go running through the computations. Oh no, she decided to kill a corpse instead. Bane her, I suppose. I don't know what that does. I know it pushes you back in initiative, but I don't know if it's like actually that helpful. Oh, it makes her less accurate. I guess if she decides to heal or summon a thing, that doesn't matter. Hey, suck it, nerd. Ha 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 ha. I'm the winner here. Even though three of my allies have been reduced to mindless babbling babies. The entity that used to be a Lelithasan's specter is defeated at last. With its ethereal form being torn apart by the damages it suffered, it lets out a horrifying inhuman scream before its corrupted essence is drawn up and into the eye of the maelstrom above. Just when the vortex begins to shrink, the turmoil around it dissipates. You realize the spectral mages have regained control of the phenomenon and are containing it to the best of their ability. Their leader, the old man with the long beard, is incanting louder than before, while the specters are straining to add their sorcerous power to his. Then something draws your attention to the center of the roiling vortex above, if only for a moment, but that moment is enough. The presence you have felt before is made manifest as an impossibly large, uncannily malformed shadow moves into the eye of the maelstrom. Dozens of horrifying appendages, much like segmented legs, protrude from the vortex, and the wicked stars align into a shape that is like an unblinking eye in their midst. The Eye of Sauron. It is a thing that should not be, and now you can feel a consciousness that is utterly uncaring. Willpower so beyond yours that your mind begins to shatter. You need every ounce of your mental faculties to hold it together. We don't have any resourcefulness to use, and I don't think I could use it anyway. We succeed! Thank God! The implications of I would have cried if I had failed a willpower test at the end of the battle and died and then had to fight her all over again. The implications of the vast consciousness beyond your comprehension are out there among the twisted stars are almost too much to bear. But despite all the horror that comes with the realization, you manage to find meaning in your own existence and that of the realms around you. Your sanity remains intact, even though you are shaken to your core. In mere moments, the vortex above shrinks to its original size, and the celestial storm abates around it, leaving only strange stars and ponderously swirling nebula. The vast consciousness is gone too. It's momentarily revealed or imagined hideous form, nothing but a bewildering memory. "Thank you, stranger, for aiding us." A hoarse but wise voice speaks to you, and you look up to meet the piercing gaze of the spectral mage who spoke before. He is now standing near you and your companions. You might not be entirely aware yet, but you have committed a great deed today, perhaps the greatest of your life. And as for what you saw, believe me, it'll be easier to bear that burden with time. You ask him who he is and what just happened here. I still love this art. I have to look at it again. I was High Preceptor Parhassus, head of the last council of the Tower of Icarius. Judging from you being here, you must have found my memory crystal in the ruins of the tower, the only way to break my seal on the Star Garden. It also means that even after the fall of the tower, and indeed perhaps all of the Empire, civilization rose again, or at least partially survived. Your language seems like a version of Imperial, and your attires, as well as your group's varied heritage, tells me that a lot has changed since our unfortunate demise. So please, tell me how much time has passed, and I'll elucidate you what occurred in our sorry era. You tell Parhassus that the calamity, the thaumaturgical disaster that decimated Zareen, happened over 1,000 years ago. I see, Parhassus says solemnly. You briefly explained the fall of the old empire and its rise in the Fourth Age under the watchful gaze of the 12 and the Triumvirate. This seems to sadden the High Preceptor more than the simple fact of the great amount of time passing. Well, there's nothing we can do about it, he says with a sigh. Our time has long passed, and besides, we have our duty to perform in these halls. You see, when this calamity occurred, we were woefully unprepared to contest it despite the great power of the Council. I realize I'm doing the voice I did for Sidarius. That's fine. They can be related. As you have witnessed in my memory crystal, we came to the decision during the devastation that our best course of action was to open a realm gate and evacuate everyone to somewhere safe. That is easier said than done, obviously, even when the combined arcane and divine might of the greatest mages and priests of our time. Yet, we had to try, and due to the nature of the Star Garden, we deemed that the plan had great potential, that this place was constructed so that it already had small realm gates opening to distant skies. Tapping into that, we sought to create a large enough portal for all of us to escape. He holds a pause, hanging his head in sadness. But the cataclysm scrambled our magic, opening a window to another distant part of the universe, and there something became aware of us among the stars. We have no name for it. You experienced it briefly, and I believe. With our gate held open, it sensed an opportunity and tried to enter, wreaking havoc and insanity as it did. We threw it back, but our bodies perished, leaving only spectral forms behind. I'm certain that this was also the effect of the calamity you describe, some form of a curse that allowed us to hang on to this half-existence. We used the opportunity to keep the realm gate closed, but realized that the entity was trying to wriggle its way in, and so we would have to hold it shut for all eternity. You ask Parhassus what Lilith Aeson wanted. The thing masquerading as Lilith, my esteemed colleague and dear friend, was a part of the entity from the stars. Parhassus says, when we realized our mistake, some of us became beholden to the vast consciousness that invaded through the realm gate. Lilith Aeson was drawn to it out of curiosity, and it sealed her fate. I suspect that although it ultimately destroyed her true self, the entity somehow corrupted her spirit, twisting it into a weapon, a vanguard to facilitate its entry into our world. We managed to banish the agent of chaos, but could not destroy it. It was ejected out of the Star Garden, and I believe that it has been trying to get back in ever since. You presented it with an opportunity, so it played the part of Lilith to convince you. Even after it had you break the seal using my memory crystal, it could not find us in here thanks to my obscuring magic, without you stumbling upon us first. You tell Parnassus that you did not see through its deception. I bear no ill will, stranger, the High Preceptor's specter tells you. You were unfairly misled. I can see clearly that you had been searching for something, and such inquiries can lead one astray with ease. In the end, you did the right thing and prevented the destruction of, well, it's unfathomable of what would have happened. You ask Parnassus what will happen now. Now this errant part of the entity has been destroyed for good. Its essence returned to the other side of the realm gate we were holding shut. The immediate danger is absent, yet the portal would burst open right away without us keeping it shut, and so we shall stay and perform our duty. Elsewise, the universe would be unmade by whatever that thing is out there in the great void. You ask him if anything could be done to assist them. No, stranger, you've done enough, the Spectre declares. It was our fault, and thus it is our sacrifice. There are fewer of us now, but it will suffice. So I suggest you leave. You do not belong here. We will guide you back to the vestibule. Then, once you are safely outside, we will reseal the gate. If you leave my memory crystal here, there's little chance that anything or anyone will find our prison ever again. That is the safest path. Let us and the Star Garden fade into obscurity. Wishing to know more, you inquire if he could answer some questions. We have a little time, the mage replies, and who am I to deny knowledge from one such as yourself? You think about what to ask Parnassus. I guess we should ask him now, or ever we'll run out of stuff to ask. The omens? There was extensive research that was being suppressed by the Apostles' men. Parnassus seems almost angry. Thanks to that research, we knew that this calamity was of thaumaturgical origin, divine magic tinged with arcane, most unusual. The omens, for lack of a better word, were its precursors. Were they divine signs and portents? I doubt it. From the account of our priestly colleagues, the gods were oddly silent, and the divine magic blessings and wonders were nigh inaccessible, even for the most devout. This makes me believe that the omens were essentially tiny calamities. They perhaps merged or escalated into the continent-wide cataclysm. The variation in these eerie and often perilous phenomena, as well as creativity in their manifestations, seem to indicate some sort of a will behind them, although I don't have proof to back it up. He sighs. I'm afraid if that nobody found out for a millennium, it is unlikely that you'll learn the truth now. You talk about something else. Ooh, we get insight for each of these. We have to do every one of them. Ask what the calamity was. Parnassus remains silent for a few moments, stroking his spectral beard. Unfortunately, I am unable to provide a satisfactory answer. The High Preceptor looks solemnly, gazing at his feet. Our attempts to identify the source and laws governing these phenomena failed. We have been obstructed to a degree, yes, but we can't fall back on that excuse because they were only partially responsible for our inadequacy. To be truthful, we were too proud. We thought too much of our abilities, and we secluded ourselves from too much of the real world out there. All these factors clouded our judgment and sabotaged our understanding. Perhaps we deserved our fate. You tell the spectral mage that the triumvirate claims that the calamity was the misguided punishment of the insane elder gods. Sighing, Parnassus looks you in the eye. Whatever this calamity was, its nature was indeed divine according to our measurements, although there was arcane thaumaturgy involved too. But everything else sounds too suspicious from this dogma you've outlined. Do you really think the elder gods would turn on the Empire after the Pact? They had deliberately put checks in place for this very reason, to prevent direct divine intervention. Our own high priests interpreted the signs and portents differently from those who dictated church dogma before the fall. The gods could not have perpetuated such a foul act. They have unfathomable wisdom and immeasurable kindness toward the mortal races, and they say that they then just left in shame? I'm afraid I can't support that theory at all. One should not impose mortal thoughts on emotions on the greatest divine. No, stranger, whatever happened to them, they are gone for good. You should look to those whose interest is to spread the dogma and ask, what are they hiding? I wonder if the new gods killed the old gods and then, like, the calamity was the war between the two? It's interesting to think about. Got more insight? Ask him about the Tecti and who built them and why. You explain to Parnassus that many survived in the Tecti, but nobody seems to know why they were created in the first place. The mage strokes his long spectral beard. Are you suggesting that somebody knew what was going to happen? And not even mere months before the cataclysm. These shelters were built years and years before that. An interesting theory, though I draw your attention to the fact that we, the Council of the Tower of Icarius, the greatest school of magic and center of learning, didn't know anything about such an ambitious venture. The Church of the Apostles, and by extension most high priests, never let anyone know if they expected something. But according to my own experience, they were mostly oblivious to their construction. Was it a splinter faction in their ranks, or some renegade sorcerers? Were these tecti built for some other purpose, but ended up becoming shelters during these trying times? I wish we knew, but unfortunately, it is of mystery to me and my colleagues, too. Ask him what their plan was and why it failed. See, stranger, this place is truly special. When a cadre of exceptionally talented mages built it 2 generations before my time, they used their immense power to open permanent windows to the skies of many distant worlds. Realm gate travel was rare back then, even more so than it was in the century before the fall of the Empire, so you can imagine how much thought and skill went into creating this magnificent garden. The intent was to propagate crystals, plants, and mushrooms from all over the realms, even from the outer realms, using the unique arcane and natural properties of these distant stars. You put it to Parhassus that it was these realm gates he wanted to tap into for an escape route. Precisely, the mage bows his head. It was a bold plan, perhaps a desperate one, yet it could have worked if not for the unseen effects of the thaumaturgical cataclysm. Our combined ritual would have widened and stabilized a single gate to a safe location, and we could have evacuated everyone. Instead, that thing found us and slaughtered everyone, or else turned them stark raving mad. The priests went first, and then the students. It was horror made manifest. We contained it, but the gate can never be closed again. Not while that entity is watchful, and it never sleeps, stranger. You ask him where they are planning to go, or where they were planning to go. To a place called Sardath, a distant haven in the outer realms. From then, we could have perhaps returned to the continent, or at least sent agents to assess the damage. Ah, wishful thinking. There's no point in brooding on it now. For all we know, Sardath isn't even around anymore. Talk about something else? Ask him about the entity. Parhassus glanced at the now calmer Maelstrom briefly. Is that fear in his spectral eyes? Whatever it is, it has no kinship with the Elder Gods, he says ponderously. I have spent the better part of the last 1,000 years observing it carefully, ever so carefully, while holding back its intrusions with all my might. What I learned is that it corrupts very easily. Its nature is the opposite of the essence of our own world. All the realms, indeed, are made of an anti-essence, the anathema to our existence, the antithesis of creation. Even trying to comprehend it leads lesser minds to utter insanity. It is here because Is it here because the Elder Gods are gone? Has it always been out there, among the cold nebula between the realms? Is it alone? I do not know, but I shudder to think perhaps it is best if we do not learn. Perhaps that is the only most significant exception to our most sacred rule. You ask Parhassus if the entity is some kind of demon. I assure you it isn't, he says darkly. Demons are, however far they have fallen or depraved they have become, creations of the Elder Gods. Twisted, damned, misguided. This entity out there, Parhassus shivers, it has no sympathetic qualities, no resemblance to any of the gods' works. That makes me all the more fearful. Ask him about Preceptor Lelithason? Parhassus raises his hands. That is, Preceptor Lelithason was my tutor, friend, and colleague. When my magical abilities were discovered at an early age, it was her who I was sent to, and it was her who discovered my talent. I began studying the art of magic from a number of tutors, but she stood out, always encouraging me, pushing me to achieve more. But not only me, all of her students. Even after I surpassed her abilities, she kept teaching me in her own way. We were very close colleagues once we came to the tower, sat on the council, shared research, and dedicated ourselves to teaching a new generation. Despite her age of several millennia, she was always patient, kind, caring, and curious. I haven't a clue how she achieved that, but I respected her more than anyone else here, perhaps. The spectral mage's face is twisted into a sad frown. When you have been an accursed spirit for 1,000 years, you think emotions and memories connected to your mortal lifespan would fade away. But that is not the case at all. I cherish this time spent with my friend, and I hope the real Lella, that is, the elven enchantress who tragically perished during our attempt to escape the tower, would appreciate the cause we've dedicated ourselves to. Ask him why he speaks in a different manner than the corrupted specter. I believe that it was an error on behalf of the entity that tried to mimic my old friend, Parhassus says. As you no doubt realize, we can understand each other perfectly, without anachronisms or any sort of language barrier. That is because we specters communicate psychically, not through real speech, even though we perceive it as such. In an attempt to impress you, or even con you into thinking how authentic she was, the thing that played Lely's part must have tapped into what was left of her and deliberately spoke that way. Interesting. Last thing to talk about. The Tower of Icarius itself. As you wish. You must have seen much of the tower while you were trying to get here, so you certainly saw the greatness of its architecture and sophistication of enchantments. Essentially, the place was built as a marble tower of great height, and supported by magic, but inside, its creators set up a pocket dimension to house the halls, corridors, landings, and chambers. Naturally, later generations of mages built upon this structure and expanded the tower's interior, with every successive generation. In essence, this space was infinite. The mage's gaze wanders to the horizon of the garden. It was a place of learning, knowledge, open-mindedness, and wonder. Mages and priests, elves and humans working together to unlock the great mysteries of the universe. This quest informed everything we did, everything we worked for. Some of us were researchers, others were teachers, explorers, inventors, or protectors. And I firmly believe that we are on the right path, one that the tower founder, Icarius, an adherent of the Preceptus, would have appreciated. He thought that learning and magic were the future of the Empire, you see, and so we were seekers of knowledge. Sadly, this quest of ours resulted in tragedy and horror. It is always so, you think? Myself, I always held knowledge as more important than happiness, even though others seem to be chasing the latter all their lives. Through passing it on, one can achieve greatness. Be that as may, I am saddened to have lived in a time when this view and the quest for knowledge itself were constantly under the scrutiny of lesser men. Talk about something else. Well, that's all we have time for. It is time for us to leave. You tell Parhassus that it is time for you to leave. Indeed, the Spectre acknowledges. It has been a pleasure to converse with you. You're strangers from a strange time. Before you go, he points to an ancient desiccated corpse wearing faded robes. Take my wand. It hasn't lost any of its magnificent power, and perhaps it will prove useful to you on your journeys. We certainly have no use for it now. You pull the bejeweled silver wand from the dead man's hand while the spirit looks on. Good. Parhassus nods. Now, follow my guiding light. He raises a hand, at the end of which a tiny orb of blue energy appears. Despite its small size, it emits a powerful light. It begins floating ponderously in a specific direction. Farewell, stranger. The Council of the Tower of Icarius is grateful for your intervention. Shed no tears for us. This afterlife is not that bad. We talk to each other, discuss matters of great importance, and watch the stars. We shall be fine. Do not tell the outside world about us. This peril is contained, and it's best for everyone forget about us. We shall be here, ever watchful, guarding the realms. You say your farewell too, and then lead your companions out of the spacious plaza and into the thicket, following the levitating orb of light across the Star Garden. It takes about 10 minutes to reach the entrance archway, where the guide simply vanishes. Looking back one last time at the strange skies breached by mages in a long lost age, you step outside and watch as the door closes behind you by itself. Then, with a crackling sound, the sorceress' shield reforms on it, and a seal manifests on its arcane surface. Tired and relieved, you head up from the vestibule. You reach the surface soon enough. Ooh, we got a wand. Very cool. Did we finish the sealed beyond? We certainly did. I guess all that's left to us is for posterity then. We got a couple extra things. I think what we'll do then is next episode we'll head over to the other side of the realm gate. We'll load up on ivory and tin. Maybe just ivory, since that's the one we can stack the most of. And then we'll head over to we'll try to push Hackterast along, and then maybe we'll try to knock out the Exquisite Brew on the other side of the globe. So, we should also... Oh, I have to deliver a letter, so we'll go to Sunrock before we do that. Maybe we'll take the long way around, and we'll go to Avernum, and that way instead. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But for now, if you guys enjoyed the episode, please click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see more episodes of Vagrus the Riven Realm, or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel and make sure you have your notifications on so you know when the next videos go live. But until next time, everybody, I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody!